Welcome to the Dr. April Jasper Show, relevant conversations for business owners of today.
If you suffer from dry, scratchy, irritated eyes, the problem may actually stem from your eyelids. Cleansing eyelids daily is essential for maintaining healthy eyes, which is why doctors recommend OcuSoft Lid Scrub Allergy Eyelid Cleanser. New OcuSoft Lid Scrub Allergy removes oil, pollen, and other contaminants from your eyelids to effectively reduce redness, irritation, and itching caused by seasonal allergies. These pre-moistened wipes are easy to use, on the go, or at home. Simply wipe and leave on. As the industry standard of care, OcuSoft has a full line of eyelid cleansers for various conditions. Available through eye care professionals, most retail outlets, and Amazon.com. Visit OcuSoft.com for more details.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here today at the Optometric Management Symposium.
Your Optometric Management Symposium.
Oh, that's right. And we are in Orlando, which is just a little ways away from Afe's house.
Only 10 hours.
Oh, gosh.
Flight.
It's like 11 o'clock at night at your house, right?
Yep.
So you're just such a good guy for being here and putting up with all of us. But
Anytime. I mean, love this conference, love being at Disney, so
Yeah.
not complaining.
So for those of you who don't know my guest, this is Dr. Afe van der Worp, and he is from Amsterdam. And he has, I've known him for a long time, and I've followed his e-newsletter for the longest time. And he's also a part of the Global Contact Lens Specialty Symposium.
That's right.
So,
Yeah. So I am from Amsterdam, I'm from the Netherlands, born and raised, but we lived in the US for 10 years.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about you, your history, that story.
All right. So I'm actually, I was born and raised on a farm near Gouda. Do you know Gouda cheese?
Yes,
My
I love
parents
Gouda cheese.
made that cheese, the one you
Oh!
ate probably.
You didn't
No.
bring me any.
No, I didn't bring it. So it's a region like Champagne in France. So if you're in that region, you can call yourself Gouda cheese. Everybody can do it now,
Wow.
I think. But nothing with optics. And then I actually took a long track. I became an optician first, then an optometrist. So that's 4 years optician school, 4-year optometry school. Then I started teaching, and then I did my PhD in contact lenses at an
Wow.
ophthalmology department in the Netherlands. And yeah.
So what about the 10 years here? What
Yeah,
happened
my
here?
wife worked for the World Bank, so we were here for her work, and I was finishing my PhD, and then I started working with people at Pacific University, Pat Caroline especially, and with Craig Norman,
Oh, wow.
and they got me involved in the Global Specialty Lens Symposium, and then, wow, that opened a lot of doors. So I'm always grateful to Craig and Pat for what they did for me.
So, Afe, you could have done anything in optometry. Why did you choose contact lenses?
That's a good question. I remember, so I did a residency in Houston, and I came back to the school, and they asked me, so what did you think of it? And like I told in our session this morning on medical optometry, I was blown away by what optometry would look like, because we didn't have that in the Netherlands. I was literally the first generation optometrist
Wow.
in the country. And then they asked me, well, do you want to teach it? And I thought about, but I could do anything. I could do optometry, like clinical optometry, or more contact lenses. I always liked contact lenses, and I think I always liked the technical part of things. Maybe because I'm an optician too. That was my background. So I always liked designing lenses, thinking about lens designs, whether it's a ortho K lens and corneal topography. I love that part. Well, you know my newsletter, so
Yeah,
all
I
these
love
things I
it.
discussed there. Eyesight newsletter.
Yes, you guys should subscribe. It's really awesome. It's once a month, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So I want to back up a little bit. We're together today because you're here at the Optometric Management Symposium in Orlando, and we were in a class this morning, a panel
Right.
discussion.
Early this
Yes,
morning,
7:30.
7:30. So that's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to Europe, you would never go to any conference that starts at 7:30, except for the US. And it was full house. I was
You were
blown
shocked.
away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our whole topic, though, in the conversation, when I kind of threw it at you guys, so it was Afe, and it was Nate Lighthizer and Shira Kresh, And so I threw it at them and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to talk about medical optometry, but I want you to do it the way you see it. And I want to talk about the future. So what does it look like today in the future? And this guy threw a curveball at me. So what did you do with it?
Well, I played advocate of the devil a little bit, I think. So I understand that optometry increasingly, and this meeting is a perfect example of that, moving into medical optometry.
Yeah.
I understand that scope is broadening up. While at the same time, we got to be careful not to forget our roots, our basis, and that is understanding the optics of all these devices, whether it's glasses or contact lenses or even all kinds of surgery.
Yeah.
We are the experts in that field, and that is a part that we can excel in, while in the other arenas, not necessarily always, because there's always somebody, I wouldn't say above us, but doing that same thing. So yeah, that
You're
was
right.
my maybe I was a little bit blunt, but
no, I thought you were awesome. That's what we need. We need we need to say what we're thinking in a way that helps to stimulate other people to think. And that's what we were trying to do. And I think I'll tell you what my feeling was at the end. I felt like all of you presented your case very well. So Nate talked about surgery and Shira talked
laser.
about disease.
I mean, very advanced stuff. And her glaucoma things that Shira was talking about, I was like, oh my God, yeah, all that is optometry. So we agreed on one thing for sure, and that is that Shira called it we're superheroes, right?
Yes, I love
We
that.
want to do it all, but we can't necessarily. So maybe
and we
have to
probably.
Pick, well, that's our strength and our weakness.
Yeah.
So we gotta pick our choices. One can specialize in scleral lenses, another one can specialize in glaucoma, and a third one in laser or yeah.
And you've stayed the course, meaning you chose this, and this is where you've stayed throughout your career, correct?
Yeah.
Some people don't, and I don't think people have to stay in the same, the same path. It can change.
No, it's true. It's a fun. I like the complex interaction between the medical part of things, the technical part of things, the optical part of things, working with the industry on new lens designs and everything. So yeah, it's a good, fun industry to be in.
So contact lenses, let's get to that a little bit more. Tell us about where your focus has been and what is it people want to hear the most from you? So you taught today. What are the things that seem to interest most doctors and inspire them? We are excited to have CooperVision as a sponsor of our podcast. CooperVision is one of the world's leading contact lens manufacturers, and they serve eye care professionals and patients in over 130 countries. Their innovative products help millions of patients see every single day. One of the technologies and innovations that we love the most about CooperVision is their groundbreaking technology in soft contact lenses that helps to slow the progression of myopia in children 8 to 12 years old at the initiation of treatment.
Yeah, it's funny. I looked at. So I graduated 30 years ago.
Like me.
we were in a competition. Who was the oldest on the panel this morning? So I look back on those 30 years, and it was funny because the first 10 years, the first decade, if you want to sort of break it up in decades, was about corneal GPs and corneal topography. My PhD was in that arena. It was all exciting because corneal topography, wow, that was pretty cool. Then the next decade was ortho-K and myopia management that came along, at least from a research perspective, because that's 2 decades old now. And then scleral lenses came along. That was
and that's where
was a big game changer, I think.
Yeah.
So now the big question, I guess, is what is the next decade
going
to be, right?
Well, what do you tell people? What'd you say today?
My last lecture was about specialty soft lenses, and I think we can we need to dig a little bit deeper. And I mean, by far the most lenses we fit are soft lenses. 90% of lenses in the world are soft lenses.
Right.
But we have a lot of dropouts.
Right.
And 25% of people who start with soft lenses drop out. And that's for a reason, because we don't serve them always with the best lens. So my research right now is looking in how can we do better? Can we improve soft lens fitting in normal eyes and in other standard eyes?
Can we?
I think we can. We have I came up with an acronym which is
I
very
wanna hear it.
appropriate for Disney. It's Finding Nemos.
Oh, I
And
saw that on a slide, and I was like, "What is that?"
what is that
Oh,
about?
now you
Yeah.
gotta tell me.
Well, in a nutshell, it's if we have instruments to measure that, and we have corneal topographers and scleral topographers, we can define normalize. And if we have normalize, all of the lenses, the big companies are catering towards the top of the bell curve of normalize. So if you have a
Right.
normal eye, pretty sure that those lenses, whether your lens manufacturer A, B, C, or D, they're all
Right.
catering towards that.
Yeah.
So that it's finding Nemos, because we're actually trying to find eyes that fit the lenses that we have.
Right. Oh, I love that. Well said.
And so then the next thing is, if you don't have a Nemo, what are you going to do if it's on the right or left side of the spectrum? And I think we have very good options to customize soft lenses like we're doing with corneal and scleral lenses. So yeah.
But then that takes us to the future, though. And you brought
Yeah.
up in our class this morning AI.
AI, yeah. So what we're seeing in corneal GPs and in sclerals and in ortho K, we have databases of tens of thousands of eyes now, and it's very easy for manufacturers to say to match that. If you, for instance, if you have a topographer, you upload that to the manufacturer, they immediately know, oh, if you want to do ortho K, for instance, it's not going to be very successful, or it is going to be successful. And if you want to do ortho K and be successful, maybe you should use, well, that diameter with that lens design, etc., etc.
Wow.
I mean, that is going to change everything we're doing. We know exactly when to go from a spherical GP or ortho K lens to a toric one. That's X micron difference on the ocular surface. Go toric. We know when to go from a corneal GP to a scleral. If it's more than 300 microns, go scleral. We even know when to go toric scleral now based on that information. So, and then next thing is to do the same with soft.
Wow. All right. So knowing this, let's back up. Would you today have the same focus in optometry that you did 30 years ago? So let me say it another way. Keep thinking. I'll buy you some time.
I thought you were going to say, buy me a wine, but...
No, you don't even have to buy it. It's over there for free. Maybe David will bring us
We're
some.
at the exhibit here.
He's asking for wine, so I'm just saying. White or red?
White.
There you go. All right.
I
so
was just kidding, by the way.
what the question that we had. Oh, here it is. So my daughter's in optometry school. She just started, first year.
Nice.
Did she make the right decision?
Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah. Because what did we discuss earlier, what we discussed this morning, there are so many different things you can do with optometry. If you're, I think, was it Nate this morning or Shira who used the example of the ophthalmologist who said, well, I'm a surgeon now. All I can do is surgery.
Yeah.
I have no backup. There's that or nothing.
Right.
With optometry, man, you could do contact lenses. You could go the medical way.
Yeah.
You can work with industry. You can do, well, research everybody can do, I guess. But
I love that.
the options are phenomenal.
And you make me think about something else. I don't know if this is the case where you are or not, but here in the US, they say that there's over 40% of people in the United States, that's not necessarily optometrists, but overall are very feeling like their work-life balance is not good and feeling burnt out. So one of the things I tell optometrists all the time is if you're working 6 days a week and you feel like you're a little tired, well, my goodness, why are you working so much? Work a few less days. The other thing I will tell people is maybe you're doing too much of that superhero stuff,
Right.
trying to be everything to everyone. Maybe you need to have a focus, like Abe did at the very beginning.
Specialize, yeah. I think so. I mean, if dry eye is your thing, I think you can run a fantastic practice just focusing on that. Presbyopia, I think nobody's doing it, or not many people are doing it, but if you focus on that, there's a huge market out there. Be a good contact lens fitter in that arena, but also IOLs and spectacles. Myopia management, no brainer. You can totally specialize in that, and on and on and on. But do one thing good.
Yes.
And that's the one. That's going back to your earlier question. I don't think I would do things differently. I like being sort of like we have wine. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the listeners. I just like
you wouldn't
being
do anything
a
different.
big fish in a small pond, because that keeps it fun, I guess.
And that brings me to, how have things changed where you live today? You told us you were one of two?
Yeah.
One of one?
No, there were two. So we started with 4, I graduated with 2. We went. So the best student out of the first year, he would get an educational grant to go to Houston to do that residency. And it was my best friend, and me. So we decided to go together.
Oh my
we split
goodness!
it. So yeah, we.
I love
We
that.
lived in Houston, bought a V8 big all. I think it was a Mercury Marquis or something.
Oh, you too. What did you call yourselves? You have to have a name if you named the context.
Tintin in America, I think. That's how it felt. But
that's
it was
incredible.
Amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. So the journey has been so much fun, April. I love it. So no, I don't think I would change anything.
You've done so much for optometry, not only at home, but here as well. And I just want you to know, if you haven't heard it already today, thank you. And keep it up, because I think, and that's what this is about, is inspiring people. What you do is inspiring. It helps us all to feel better about where we are and feel encouraged. I look forward to getting your newsletter.
All right.
Every single month, so don't stop.
Cool.
And any final words you would leave our listeners with to kind of help them through whatever their place is right now. And we're going to be starting the new year. I don't know when you'll listen to this, but 2024 is a month away.
Well, I always think it's important for young people to just sometimes you feel somewhere in your gut it isn't right or something, and you just continue because everybody else is doing it.
That's good.
I always listen to that, or try to at least. And in the beginning, everybody was like, scleros? That's not going anywhere.
Wow.
Well, not because of me, but I mean,
maybe.
I got a feeling with soft lenses we can make a dent as well, in a little bit of a dent in history. So, yeah, just listen to that feeling and act on it.
I love it. Thank you. Thanks for being here. The 10-hour trip to get here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Your eyes and your vision are under attack. Damaging blue light from the sun, your phone, your computer, your tablet, even light bulbs and car headlights is constantly bombarding you. The good news is our eyes actually already have a line of defense to counter the effects of blue light. This defense is made up of 3 pigments called carotenoids. MacuHealth with Micromicelle, the only supplement with the exclusive patent on all 3 macular carotenoids and Micromicelle technology.